Hey, everybody. It is I, Hope Giselle, Hope Disguise, and I'm coming at you all today with an exclusive episode of Can We Talk? Now, I wanted to make sure that this show was as diverse and as dynamic as I can possibly make it. And I think that this next gentleman that's going to be a guest on the show is exactly that. Buggz Gutta is an amazing LGBT rap artist who has centered his music around making sure that people understand that not only is he an amazing lyricist, but that he is somewhat of an activist. And it was amazing to kind of sort of see the journey from this man. I followed him, and I think we've been sort of friends on Facebook for years now, and sort of seeing his growth and his dynamic sort of shift over the years from just like doing the rap to actually adding a message into his work has been amazing. And so, without further ado, I want to introduce you all to Mr. Buggz Gutta. What's up,
Hi.
boo?
What's going on, boo?
What is up? How are you? How are
I'm
you?
doing good. I'm doing good. I'm good.
First and foremost, I want to thank you for doing this. I feel like anybody who says yes, or anybody who offers their time and their space to come on the show, I always have to thank them because I just feel like you could be doing anything else, and it's a Saturday. Like you could be doing anything else. And
Thanks for having me up here. I appreciate it
look
a
here.
lot.
I mean, let's jump into it. So tell the people who don't know who Bugs is. Tell the people a little bit about you.
Well, I'm Bugs Gutta. I live in New York, but I'm originally from Newport News, Virginia. I've been rapping since I was a teenager, but I didn't really start taking it serious until like about 2016, 17 when I met Miss Terry Man Made. Um, I'm gay. I'm proud. Um, I'm talented. I'm creative. I'm loving. I'm a overall dope guy and I just stand for a lot. And I believe that whatever you stand for, you fight for it, and you know you're a stand up type of guy.
So, I mean, when you say that you stand for a lot, because I think I know what that means, but I think that it's important that people understand, like, when you say that you stand for a lot, what are those things? And then how do those things impact the way you create your art?
Like for me, I know music is has been something that's been like really true to me because um, I ended up having to do juvenile life, so I got locked up at 14 and I didn't get out until I was 19. The
What?
whole time while I was in there, music. That's when I really started realizing that I could rap. I found that out about myself while I was locked up. So like that really.
Hold up, back up. That's the part of the story that, wait, first of all, I didn't even know that that was a thing. I didn't know that they could do a such thing as juvenile life. And
Yeah.
if you don't mind sharing, like, how do you even do something so bad that they would want to do that?
Well, I'm from Virginia. That's a Commonwealth state. Um,
Yes.
I was molested by my grandmother's boyfriend, who was like my grandfather. And when I got a little older, he tried to touch me again. And this time I was able to, no, don't do this. But I still felt the way. And one day I was at my grandma's house and he was there and he was cursing at my grandmother about something. And I just snapped and I took the broom that like it's how they have a broom and it's metal. And
Yes.
so I was beating him with it, and in the process of me beating him with it, it broke. And so it was sharp on the end and it was like cutting him and all of that. Um and they locked me up. Um I didn't get committed right then and there. They gave me the time, but they suspended it. But at the time when they suspended it, they took custody from my mom and my grandmother. And so they awarded me, I was a part of the state. So they was trying to put me in group homes and foster care and all of that stuff. And I wanted to be home. I didn't understand why they took me from my mom when all I was doing was defending my family and I was young and this person molested me. I just didn't understand it. And they ended up letting me go stay with my father's sister. And but she only wanted money. And eventually she just was like, I don't want you to stay with me no more. And like just out of the blue was like, I don't want you to stay here no more. And she went to my probation officer and told her that she didn't want me to stay there no more. And they knew that if they put me back in another foster home or group home, I would run away and go back to my mom's house. And so they committed me and I stayed until I was 19.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm sure that that affects your music. Like how, yeah, like okay, so you were about to explain to us like how that affected, but I need the people to, because that was news. I never even knew that that was possible.
Yeah. Like, I don't know about other states, but like in Virginia, it's crazy how, like, yeah, it was people in, I was locked up with people like 12 that was not getting out till they probably was like 24.
Wow.
They don't, the system is so fucked up, like all the way around the board. So, yeah.
I'm like floored. Okay. I mean, because that to me, I feel like that's one of those things that we should be advocating for. And like now that I know, I just feel like that's something that I want to dig into a little more. But that's another conversation for another day. But
Yeah.
um, so you get committed, you you realize that you're going to be in there until you're old enough to fend for yourself, and you find out I have this talent, I can rap, and then what?
And I was just rapping, like I would be battling in jail and stuff like that. And in the process of me, when everybody found out that I could rap and I found out I could rap, nobody knew I was gay.
Mm,
So it was like I was like in the mix. And then so everybody found out I was gay. And then it was just like everything changed, but I still was nice. So by me still being nice, everybody was still like, when somebody new would come onto the yard, they would be like, "Oh, yo, we got somebody for you. We got somebody for you," and they'll come and get me. I would come and rap and all of that, and and then I met a guard, a CO, who had connections up here in New York, and he used to always say, "When you get out, hit me up. When you get out, hit me up." Shout out to CO Brown. Um, and when I got out, I hit him up. And he was cousins with OGC Helter Skelter up here in New York back then. They was like big in hip hop, really in the streets though. And so I came up here and I was in the studio. Um, it was a little indie deal, but at that same time, I was just figuring out who I was, and I I'm released now, so I'm 19. I'm out on my own. I'm in a relationship with a guy, and it's toxic, but it's my first relationship. I
mm,
was supposed to go to Texas to record a single for the TV show Oz that was on HBO, and I didn't go because he was like, he thought I was gonna go and see another guy, so he was like, "Don't go," and this and this and that. And my young dumbass didn't go, and life just went a whole nother direction for me after that. It was ballroom, it was crafting, it was drugs, it was prostitution, it was in and out of jail.
mm,
And that's how it was for like most of my 20s. It was just in and out, in and out. And I just didn't understand. I was like, every time I would go get locked up, all I would do was write.
right.
I would just write, just write, just write, just write. I was having deal like I dead ass used to accept Grammy awards and hip hop awards in there. Like I would be performing in my cell, practicing acceptance speeches, running the label, and all of that, like because it's what I wanted. But I never really felt like it was something that
You
I
could.
would ever have. will
Mm-hmm.
ever be able to do. Because even when I had this deal, the first deal, I told them I was gay, but it was given, no, keep that to yourself. And so everything probably worked out the best way, because I feel like it's perfect timing now for
So,
me to.
because I want to ask you a little bit about that too. I had Fly Young Red on the show a couple of months back, and I
Mhm.
remember being when this particular incident happened. And I'm not sure if you listened to that episode, but we were at a pool party, like sort of thing for gay pride, and Remy Ma was there, and Fly Young Red opened up for her. And after everything was over, we were walking back to the car and figuring out what we were gonna do for the night. And Red just was not like, he was pressed. He was in his feels, and we could all tell like something had happened, and we just was like, well, what happened, like what's going on? And he's like, well, I feel a kind of way because I'm talking to Remy, and like he introduced himself as Fly Young Red, the gay rapper, and she was like, don't do that, you know um and in the moment, because listening to the episode, you'll hear him say like now he understands where she was coming from and like what she was getting at. But in the moment, and it affected him, because it's like, well, why not? Because if I don't say it, then it's kind of like people feel like you're tricking them, or a person might not recognize me off the bat, right? So saying that I am the boy pussy rapper, or the gay rapper is to me, one, honest, and two, I mean, it just is what it is. Like, I'm not gonna walk around like I'm ashamed of.
Right.
So for you, it's like, how do you navigate that space now, being in that same position where people have also told you like, you don't got to say that you gay, you get to, like, how do you?
Now, it's all about me being gay.
Mm,
Like, I want it up in everybody's face, because it's like it's needed, because it's bigger than me, and it's like I really really feel like it's bigger than me. When I was young and I wanted to be a rapper, and I was saying I wanted to rap, I was looking at the Locks, I was looking at DMX, I was looking at Jay-Z, I was looking at Biggie, Little Kim. I had nobody to look at that was like me. You know what I'm saying? And so nowadays, the youth is coming out, and they're coming out trans, they're coming out gay at very 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 young age. So it's like, it's for me to say, yes, I'm gay, I'm a proud gay black man, so that these little young boys that want to be a rapper can say, look, it's somebody that's just like me out here doing it. And so that's why I wear it on my sleeve, because it's what it is.
so I find that a lot of the time when you see like these young kids that are coming up and saying like, because we have, when I say the talent in our, like, we've always been a talented community, but when I say the talent has completely shifted from like when you and I were growing up, and you're a little older than me, so it's just like I know the talent pool was like hella deep, and then it got deeper, and like now we're just watching these kids, they coming out, they come out swinging. The trans
Yeah.
happen. We got Boogie in New York, who just released Femme Queen. Like,
Hmm.
you have all of these like talented as LGBT people who are just like, you know what, I'm not gonna fake the funk. Like, I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna not tell you that I'm trans because it's gonna make you uncomfortable. Like, you have guys like you, and then going back to folks as old as like Bryant, like going back to like the old days. Like,
Right.
and it's just like, it's amazing to see that like so many more queer artists are like, what, I'm gonna put this to the forefront. While I do understand like some of the points that some people make about, like making it about my music, I think that it's important that we have visibility.
I think that comes from, like, for me, I don't care about getting major record deal,
Mm,
because if a major record label is looking at me, that means I really don't even need them, because I'm already doing something right. So for me
yes.
to not be able to be like, and that's where it comes from. The major labels is what tells you, keep this to yourself.
Uh-huh.
Don't put this out there like this, because they're thinking about money. So they looking at me, they're like, okay, you cute, you got this, you got this. Okay, we don't want you to say you gay, because if you say you gay, that might make women not want to listen to you or buy your music, and it might make straight men steer away from not buying your music. So what can we do with you? So we need you to act like you straight. You know what I'm saying?
I feel
I'm
that.
not gonna do it. I'm not gonna act like it. I'm not gonna play around with it. I'm not gonna do any of that because it's fake. And I'm not a fake person. Like, that's bullshit. I ain't with it. Like, I leave that to other people and let them do what they do, and you know, it is what it is.
I do know. So let's jump into your advocacy, because what a lot of people don't know is that you use your music as a way to sort of advocate for a multitude of different communities. And one of the title tracks that you released not too long ago, just sort of in remembrance of trans women, was Matters.
Right.
A couple of people featured on that song. Could you like tell us a little bit about like what that was?
Well, I have an indie label. It's called Pink Gorilla Entertainment, and I have an artist, Tia Carter, who's trans. She's a singer. A rapper named Rico Cassadine. He's from Atlanta, and at the time, I had an artist called Goldie Doll. She's a trans rapper. So one day, Rico just like he hit me up on FaceTime, and he was like, everything that's going on right. No, we was pushing his project back because of everything that was going on. And he hit me up and was like, look, we pushing my project back, but I think we should do something. And I think we should do something about everything that's going on now. And he was like, and I found this beat. So he sent me the beat. So when he sent me the beat, I was already in the studio with Tia, and I played it, and she started humming, and she started coming up with the hook. Then she came up with the hook, and I laid my verse down, and I sent it to him and Goldie Doll. They wrote their verse, and then we went to Atlanta to record it like 3 days after everybody wrote their verse. And while we was in Atlanta recording it, I was texting the videographer, Annabelle Rain Visual, and telling her what all I wanted her to do. Because at first she was thinking that we should do a visual with us in it, but I didn't really want us in it. I wanted it to capture the the real of what we go through as a community, what the black trans women go through, and what better way to do that than real footage from the world and the bullshit that we facing, and that's
I
how
want
it
to
came about.
because I love that, but I also want to talk about this like amazing cover that we have up here on the screen. I fell in love with the visuals for Matters because I don't know what it was, but to me it was just really beautiful to see not only the artist, but to kind of just look directly into you all's I'm one of those people that's like the eyes are the window to the soul. Like I'm one of those, like I'm one of those folks. And so it's just like it was amazing for me to look up here and kind of sort of see like this beautiful representation of people that were a part of the community, supporting the community, and then to have the names of the women at the time who had been murdered. That was just amazing. And so like what was the vision behind that? Like was that just the graphic designer, or did you all as artists get together and come up with that sort of vision for that?
Well, my partner is Chad Bailey. He is the creative director of Pink Gorilla Entertainment. And I sat with him and I was just telling him that what I wanted. I told him that I wanted, at first I wanted to have pictures of all of the girls, but he was just like he had a different route that he wanted to go. And when he sent it to me, I was like, I love it. Like, it makes so much sense. It it it, it was powerful to me. Like, I really, 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 really love the cover art for that. A lot of people did.
Yeah, it was one of the first things, like for me, it was one of the first things that I was just like, okay, this is I don't know, it was really captivating. And I don't know why. I just know. I, at the same sort of thing where it was like, this might not have been where I wanted to go with this, but
But
like something about it just like drew me to everything. Y'all,
mhm.
please ignore the ice cream truck. Like, I live in a little white hood, and like, because it is killing me in the background. I live
I
in a
don't
little.
even hear it.
You don't hear the ice cream truck. Now it's gonna be somebody who gonna be like, "Oh, hope I heard the ice cream truck." It's somebody gonna hear the ice cream truck. Okay, somebody in the comments. Um, but nevertheless, it was a really, to me, it was like a really captivating piece just to see their names, and it wasn't just like this blah ass like list. It looked like signatures. It looked like, for me, like, and I gotta put it back up because it looks like signatures of these women. Like, it almost looks like y'all took, like y'all took the time to like go and find like this, like the inscriptions of these women while they were alive, and it almost keeps them alive by like looking at some of these scripts. Like, I mean, that to me was just a really dope creative vision. Um, for that song. And if you don't have it, y'all can go and definitely stream that. Y'all should go and purchase that, buy that, whatever. However you listen to your music, it's on Spotify, Apple Music, all of the things, Song Kick, all of that. So no matter what,
We
your
also,
Mhm.
that visual is being streamed in the urban festival, the urban film festival in Florida. I submitted it like 2 days after it came out, and they picked us to show it, and it's going to be shown globally. So that's really, really dope.
slay. Like,
That's really dope.
because that to me is how, it's one thing to have like dope music and create dope projects, but it's another thing to create dope music and dope projects with a message, like so that to me is so dope. But you mentioned this production company, and I want to talk a little bit because I want to ask you, like, who are some of your favorite queer, LGBT, gay, trans artists right now? Without trying to be biased for your own label, who are some of your people that you are like bumping right now in the community?
I really, really became a fan of Tranny and Miss Boogie.
Yes.
Um, when that song came out, at first I was like, hold on. But then I listened to it and I was like, yo, these bitches is really
Spitting.
spitting
Spitting.
that femme queen life shit.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, yo, this is so fucking dope. So them two, um, I like Earth Tone. I like, of course, Rico Cassadine, Tia Carter, um, Darcy, Dondada. Cakes the Killer is, to me, Cakes the Killer, I tip my hat off to him. And the way a lot of people look at me is how I look at him. Like, when I first said that, okay, I'm gay, I'm gonna be a gay rapper. When I Googled and went on YouTube and typed in gay rapper, Cakes the Killer popped up. And I was like, oh, let me check him out. And he was spitting, and I was like, yo, so it's other gay people that's really out here rapping. And that's what made me say, you know what? I'm moving to New York and I'm gonna do this. So shout out to Cakes the Killer. I'm not a fan of Saucy Santana, but I definitely
Vibe.
respect
Okay. Okay.
the movement and all of that because he see, I don't know if I'm supposed to say she.
I think that it's non-binary pronouns. I don't think that Saucy has like come out and said that, but I have heard them respond to she and he pronouns on
Okay.
interviews
Okay.
that it's
I
more of a
respect what she do, and I feel like, you know, do it and keep going, keep going. And I vibe to it when I hear it sometimes. That Walk 'em Like a Dog, I like that.
My
That
jam.
was that
My
was dope. Like I can hear that and I'd be vibing to it, but yeah, I'm not because I like rap.
right.
Like I like people that's gonna rap.
New
Right. That's what
that,
I like. So, but yeah, shout out to them artists. I like a lot of artists.
mm,
And but my thing is I can like you, but I don't support
mm,
everyone because I feel like if you're in the way, then
mm,
you need to just go somewhere. And when
mm.
I say in the way is if you're just making music and you're just posting it and you're not really out here in these streets trying to really, really, really get somewhere and you just focus on views and likes on social media and you ain't I feel like y'all that's in the way because no, do that shit somewhere else. Create another platform. Go somewhere else with it.
So I have to challenge that because I feel like for every Bugs, there has to be a Santana, right? For
No, no, no,
everyone,
no. I'm not saying
but
Santana is in a way.
just no, just as a comparison, right?
Uh huh.
For every person that is seriously like here, right, to create a movement, for every person that is seriously here to like actually do the work, create music that they feel moves people, there has to be somebody like Santana that's just there to get the likes, to flex, to get the girls dancing in the club. Like I feel like there has to be some people that are in the way because sometimes those people that are in the way open up the floodgates for other things, right? Because a lot of folks who look at our community, they only see us as like gays, queens, trannies, whatever. But like, and so when we have an artist like Santana who gives them what they want, which is a caricature of gay black men, femininity, to the highest of points, it opens the door for them to find out about a Buggz, about a Cakes, about a Miss Boogie, because they look in that and they're like, I wonder who else. Or like, sometimes when you're on the Spotify or you're on the Apple Music and it's like related artists, right? Like
Right.
while y'all are singing about and rapping about two different things, you're still in the same category. And then
Right.
some able, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like the doors get kicked open. Like for every City Girls, there has to be a Lauryn Hill. For
Right.
every Nicki Minaj, there has to be a Queen Herbie. Like there has to be a contrast so that people can kind of sort of understand. Like for every cupcake, there has to be a chica. Like it's just like
Right.
so you have to kick that door open so that people can even understand like there's more to gay rap or LGBT rap than that. There's more to female rap than that. There's more to electronic soul than what the fuck that man name is. Music Soul Child. Like there's more to those categories than just those people. But if those people don't give folks what they want, then they'll never be able to find like, oh shit, Buggz is what I really needed. Like this is that shit that I was trying to hear from a gay rapper,
I never looked at it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Like I never looked at it that way. And it makes sense. But it's like that's all they when straight people and this is one of the reasons why I don't look for acceptance from straights
Mm-hmm.
or whites. Like I just don't look for acceptance from them in no way, shape, form, or fashion. But when they hear gay rapper or gay MC or whatever, they only think of the saucy Santanas, the Bobby Lights, because that's what has been portrayed about us for so long. Like if you think of movies, if you think of all of that, every time it was a gay man, he had blonde hair, a pocketbook, lip gloss, and he was giving all of this the whole time. Up
Mm-hmm.
until like Empire came out and it was Jamal, we had nobody that was even giving any type of, and so that's it's like, is that all they want? You have to become a gimmick in order for them to accept you. And I think I kind of get it when it comes to rap, because the more feminine you are, the less intimidating you are. So for me to walk up in a room, for Saucy Santana to go on the Breakfast Club, they could say to him, "Oh, so you gay, blah 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 blah," and expect him to laugh it off, and the whole time they're carrying, they're, jabbing and saying, being disrespectful, and they laugh it off. Versus somebody like me coming up in that space, they're gonna think twice about it, because it's like, I don't know, because it's like, man, I'm straight, but this dude gay, but he still look like and act like he can do something to me. So I can't, they don't know how to really, I get that a lot from straight guys though. Like, but I don't know.
Because that to me raises a bunch of other questions as well, because I think that a lot of it too, so before I even tackle that part, I want to tackle the colorist part, because I think that you're absolutely right. Like, there's a lot of approval that I don't seek, but I don't seek the approval of white folks, and I don't seek the approval of straight people, because it's just like, no matter how, and I hate to say this because there are so many wonderful straight people out there who get it, and who are on the front lines that are helping. But I think there are so many straight folks that will never truly understand, no matter
And
how.
never care to understand.
And never care, right? It's just like, I'm going to do this advocacy portion, that I know how to do from the little tidbits that y'all have thrown at me. But if that doesn't work, then I don't care to do any more of my own research. Right. And I feel like it's the same thing with white people, where it's just like, I'm going to do what I can based off of what y'all done said on the social medias and on these news platforms. But after that, if that don't work, fuck y'all.
Right.
And so seek approval from those people, because it's just like, at the end of the day, the white people still think that you're, beneath them, no matter how awesome or nice that they are. They know that they have the privilege to end you. And that's, I don't think that I can ever trust, is somebody who knows
that they can end me.
They can end me. I just don't think that I can trust that fully. And I have some amazing white friends, but I just don't know if I can trust that fully, knowing that if you scream wolf, bitch, I'm
gone.
I'm good.
Right.
And it's the same thing with, like, heterosexual people, when it's just like, I can't always trust, I don't fully trust. And as much as I advocate and I empathize with Black cis women and Black men, like I tell people all the time, I think that we still have to understand the nuances about what it means to be Black and heterosexual as well, and what it means to be a Black woman, a Black cis woman, right? But at the same time, like, I'm not blind or dumb to the idea that no matter how awesome or great or beyond amazing some of my cis female friends are, in the back depths of their mind, I am a man. And you hear that, and I know this to be true, because it doesn't matter what conversation I'm having with what set of friends, there's always this reminder. Whether it happens frequently or once a year, there's always a space in some conversation where they remind you, like, well, girl, you're a different type of woman, and that's okay. And even though that's not a carry, it tells me that you have not forgotten, and that you forget, and you're not going to let me forget.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so I'm like, when you said that, I'm here with you on that, because it's just like seeking approval from those people who seek to constantly remind you that you are low key beneath them is never the move.
Right. Ever.
Never. But also, so let's have a conversation about our community and how we got to hold ourselves accountable too, because we be out here, working. And some of the first people to cut us down are our own people.
Community, yeah, like, and that's so crazy. I was having a conversation with one of my another rapper a couple weeks ago, and it's like, I'm popping. I know I'm popping. Visually, musically, image, everything. And no matter from my community, people can see it. They can even respect it, but they will not support it until the straight people say support it, or somebody outside of the community is given, oh, if I was to get put on the show or get shared by the shade, like anything that's given from somebody else to say this is the person, that's when they'll come. And it's like, that's like, what's the gay, the straight guy? He's Spanish. He just wore a shirt or dress or something in honor of a slain trans woman.
Oh,
Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny, yes.
Oh, he wore the little dress and it gave, oh, Bad Bunny is this and he's supporting our community and this and this and that. And I'm like, my nigga, look, we've been doing this. And what are you saying or what are you doing? Like nothing, but because he has a bigger platform, you want to be all up under it. Bad Bunny, we love you for this and this and that. And he ain't seeing it, ain't liking it, and don't give no fucks that you care or not. He's just doing it because now you're going to pay attention to him. Like, he's not gay. He did a whole video in drag, and
And
they
is
went up for that.
up for it.
And it's like he's making money mocking you, and you looking at it like, oh, this is cool. Fuck him. Fuck Bad Bunny.
Like, because it's my thing is I feel like there's a way to stand in solidarity while also continuing to be yourself. To me, I don't like gimmick work. I don't.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And to me, what that, like, I felt like making the statement, like, because with him, it was gradual. There was like the statement, which I was like, okay, I respect that. Like, I respect the acknowledgement on Twitter. Like, I'm here for it. And then there was like the acknowledgement with the clothing. Like, fuck y'all, I'm gonna wear what the fuck I want to wear in honor of my sister. Like, cool, great. The video was overkill because then I was just like, now what I feel like you doing is you playing in their face, like
Yeah,
playing in the faces of drag queen performers. You're playing
right.
trans women. Like now you just having fun with this entire thing and it's not funny. You
At
know,
all.
said the girls go up, the drag queens go up, the gays go up, not just because he's not a part of the community, because he does have this platform. And it's just like, if you're going to use this platform, why couldn't you have just used either an actual drag performer? Because there are plenty of Spanish drag performers that would have slayed that.
Yes.
Could have just had your little scenes on the side rather than making a mockery. Because my thing is the headlines, and like a lot of people only saw the headlines for American coverage. I saw the headlines for Spanish coverage, and the Spanish coverage was not the same praise as the American coverage.
I can believe that.
Like they ripped it to shreds because they was like, "Oh, look at this! Like he looks a hot mess." Like to them, it was a caricature act. They didn't see it in the same way that Americans saw it. And nobody talked about the fact that he never combated them in the idea that it was a caricature act. He didn't go back and forth with the Spanish news outlets. He came to get what he came to get, which was a more open and diverse American audience for his music, and then he bounced.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not to say that I don't think that he cares about the community, but I feel like it was one of those things where at first it was genuine and then it became an opportunity.
Yeah.
And we praise that, but we don't praise, like, like today I posted Angelica on my page and I was just like, give the girls their roses while they're here. Like I'm not about to continue to uplift. And it's not to say that some of these girls that are being uplifted don't deserve it, but I want to give the roses to the people that I see working, like the people that we see grinding and
Right.
doing this shit with or without a big budget. Like
Yes.
when I see Auntie Madison, like on her platform for years, like Madison should have been had a show.
Yeah.
Madison should have been the first bitch when Lee Daniels was looking for fucking people to be like. Madison should have had Gabri Sidibe's part on fucking what's the face, that show, like whatever the fuck that was. Like she should have had that part because she would have ate that the fuck up.
It's
Madison should have been Auntie Clifford. Like that's the shit that I'm thinking about. Like, and I'm just like, but y'all be praising these people that are doing the work on these major scales, but not really doing it. Like y'all
right.
if y'all knew the culture, y'all would know who to call when these opportunities open up, and people wouldn't
Exactly.
opening up these opportunities for themselves. There's no reason that Angelica should still have to be opening up doors for herself after the amount of social culture that she's influenced, not just for us, but for straight people too.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And like I just feel like as LGBT people, we don't do our part in making sure that we hold folks accountable for just like, you know what? Buggz been out here killing this shit. Let me make sure my brother get his. Let me make sure he get his roses while he's here. Don't wait until something happened and then be like, damn, you know, another one of our brothers is gone. Now
Yeah.
his music, like, and then you bumping it 10. Bitch, he can't get nothing off of that money now. Like, he can't do nothing with that now.
Right. Like, but I mean, I think we have a lot of work to do in our community. I think it's getting better.
Definitely.
Within the past few years, like I've seen some changes. Something that I'm glad I'm up here. Because I really would like to get your opinion on it. It's something that I hear so much, and it bothers me when trans women say that gay men don't. I hate this thing that has become where it's like not a war, but like this friction where trans women feel like gay men don't like them or don't support them or don't care about them or um I've never ever I'm from Virginia. um I've never I don't know a trans woman personally who would say that. So when I hear other black trans women say that and feel that way, I'd be like, well, who are the gay men that they know? Because I'm from ballroom. I'm from down south. I All I know is trans women. Like my mother, my gay mother, my sisters, my aunts. That's who raised me as a gay man was black trans women. So, and most of the other gay boys that I know. So for me, it's like, really, y'all feel that way? You feel like we don't care, or and I hear it so much, and it's sad. It's real sad.
Mm, so for
That's one of the reasons why I go so hard, like and use my platform to not only show that I care and that I'm there, but like I will like I just don't get it. And I don't understand how other gay men, black men, don't feel how I feel. I really, really, really don't. It be crazy. And when I have the conversations and I hear gay men, they be like, "Well, I don't know no trans woman or this or this and that." I be like, "You don't gotta know them. Like, why do you have to know her? But you ride for Kim Kardashian or for you do all of this craziness for I'm not saying for other black straight women, cis women, and I get it. We all come from a black cis woman, but in our world, these are our girls, and I'd be damned if I'm about to just be like, oh, it is what it is, because it's not given that. It's not a day that goes by that I don't think about this black trans woman in my life. If I don't hear from them or I'd be thinking, like, what's going on? I'm calling, I'm texting because it's crazy. It's crazy out here. And it's sad, and that y'all have to feel that way, and you know, it's sad.
Um, so for me, I think my biggest thing with this is that I've seen the videos, I've seen the posts, I've seen the comments under like different postings about trans women where gay black men are the ones that are like going in. Like they sound like straight men. They sound like straight cis men sometimes. Like if you go, one of my favorite like gay like places to go is Gay Magazine. And every now and then they'll post like stories with trans women in them. And like the comments from some of those gay men in the comments are just disgusting. And it's not like you would think that you're reading comments from the shade room, but it's just like it's gay men that are having this dialogue that is just so transphobic, that is so problematic, that is just so like riddled with, you know, toxic masculinity that doesn't make sense. And I'll never forget that like very early, it was probably like 5 or 6 years ago, but that video triggered me so much that I'll never forget it. It was a gay man going in for like an hour because one of his friends transitioned and she asked him to, as a lady, she was like, I need to sit in the front seat. And he felt a way about her asking as a woman to sit in the front seat and asking Trade to get in the back seat because she was a lady. And that was this snowball effect that triggered him to talk about how she was, you know, expecting him to hold doors and things like that. For like an hour, he went in on this girl and was just like, oh, you know, I met you with so-and-so and we was cool and, you know, da-da-da-da-da. And bitch, now all of a sudden you decide that your name is Mercedes and I got a da-da-da-da-da. And there were so many people watching that video. There were so many straight people watching that video that were just like, see, like, yes, like he gay and that's how he feels. So see, like, I'm not crazy, like he gay and he's saying the same thing. And that fuels the fire for them to feel like they don't have to respect us or for them to feel like they can do whatever because whatever. But even in that, in the meantime, while they agreeing with you and gassing you up and sharing your little video, you still a faggot.
Right.
Still a sissy.
They're gonna say the faggot was talking about the tranny.
Yes. Yes. But it's crazy because even like the fact that you say that, like when I was talking to my mom not too long ago, I was telling my mother about like how the boys don't really be here for us. My mom was like, she was confused, but she was like, wait, okay, hold up. Because I teach my mom a lot of things. And my mama was just like, wait, so I don't get it. How can they be coming for y'all when they like I don't, and I was like, Mom, make it make sense to me because I don't get it neither. But it's one of those things where in a lot of the cishet community, they feel like it's just all, you know, butterflies and bunnies and rainbows over here. And I'm just like, but it's not, and it should be. But I don't feel safe around black men. And when I say that, I don't mean just straight black men. I don't feel safe around black men because I feel like the gays will gang up on you just as quickly. And I feel like they'll do it with a little bit more gumption if they feel like it because they're gay. And so it'll be one of those things where it was like, oh, it was faggots fighting. So now nobody really like now people
Now
really
nobody cares.
Nobody cares, right? Because when it's like straight guys beating up on trans women, then some people give a fuck. But if it's just like the gay community going at each other, I feel like some of the gays will tear and have torn the girls to shreds. Like, and it's just to me like I don't know, like, and I know that it's not a thing that everybody sees, and I know that it's seen like in some spaces I've heard that like girls are just like, bitch, no, these are my boys, and I have men in my life that are my boys. They take care of me, but I've also witnessed like some of the guys, like if you don't look a certain way, if you don't push through a certain way, if you're not coming like this or like that, like with that whole thing with eating the doll, so many of my friends were talking to me about how their friends, like when they were talking to their gay male friends about it, that their gay male friends and some of their ex-boyfriends and stuff were just like, well, you pretty, so you would never. Or they were so pretty, so I don't understand why that happened. And I feel like that goes back to what you were talking about, but like that gay culture where it's like, oh, we live for Kim Kardashian, we live for da 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 da. And I think it's the same dynamic with trans women. they live for you as long as you give a certain aesthetic. But if you don't give that certain aesthetic, then a lot of the gay boys are willing to disrespect you just on GP because they feel like, oh, you don't take your transition seriously, so why should I take you seriously as a woman? And that's that bullshit.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely bullshit. And it's sad.
We gotta do better.
Yeah.
We gotta do better, but like you sitting here like, damn, like what? Like, and because I can see it in your face, you just like, wait, what? Like they really out here moving like that, but they
Cause
are.
it's so crazy to me because me being in the scene, I probably can count on. I probably can name three instances where I've seen a gay boy go at a black trans woman. Like it was always, if a boy even part of his mouth to say something crazy to one of my sisters or my mother, he was being attacked. Like you couldn't even get close. Like it yeah, that's crazy.
So, for the sake of time, the last two questions are. I stopped asking this question, but I'm gonna bring it back. So
Okay.
that'll be my last. That's usually like my last funny question because people don't expect that question. But I want like, what would be your advice for young Buggz? Like, if you could go back and just talk to him real quick, like, what would you say?
Hmm. Hmm. I would wow. I would tell young Buggz to think,
Mm,
because I've done so much that, like, it's been so much that I did without thinking it through.
mm,
Um, my actions have gotten me into so much that, changed and shaped me into who I am. But everything that I've been through and went through, I didn't have to go through.
mm,
So I would tell myself, think everything through.
mm.
Don't just move and act and just think it through.
Yes. Okay. And then the last question, my kicker question that I stopped asking, but everybody
Uh,
is, when was the last time you got it on?
the last time I got it on was Saturday and Sunday.
See, I'm waiting for somebody to beat. I had Dawn Richard on the show from Danny B. Kane, and it was funny because her response was, "Oh, girl, like a couple of minutes before I lost."
Well, see, my partner is in Atlanta right now. He's
Mhm.
down there working, so that's where I was at when I. So yeah, if I would have been like, oh, a couple minutes ago, this nigga would have been like, oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh, really?
but yeah, like it was like nobody has beat Dawn yet. Like her response was so funny because it was so authentic. She was like, "Oh, girl, like a couple of minutes before I lost," and I was just like, "Well, fuck it
You
up."
think she was telling the truth?
Right. No, I think she was because I mean, you can always kind of feel when there's a presence around, and like I could tell that like she was like multitasking the conversation. So I definitely believe that there was a little piece of man running around there. Um, but it was really candid, and the conversation with her was so dope. I think I'm gonna like try to get all of my musical guests at some point.
she, I want to say it was 2 years ago. She posted me on her story. She was posting indie artists, and
Hey,
she posted me.
but when I say she's so dope, like she's so amazing
She
and just like
is.
and she the shit that she talks, she's really about that. Like she's
Hmm.
really about like supporting indie artists And like, because when I commented on her page, like I think any comment that I've made that required a response, she's given me one. And it's just like, I fuck with people like that, because it's just like, you could play if you wanted to.
Right.
And nobody would think twice about it. Not even me. I would be like, oh, well, she busy, whatever.
Right.
But the fact that she doesn't is so much more like fulfilling, to know that like, if I really needed to like, pick her brain about something, I could just hop in the inbox, wait a couple of days, wait a couple of hours, and she'll give me a response. Like, that is dope. Like, that.
Yeah. Because not too many people are like that.
No.
They feel like, oh, I'm here, you're there. It is what it is. And it's like, so when you have people who, have bigger platforms and stuff, and they're still humble and they're still like very down to earth, it's like, yo, okay, I respect you.
Always here for it. So thank you so much, Buggz, for
thank you
and imparting your wisdom on the people. They already have your Instagram, because I made sure that they saw all of that good juiciness. So tell them what you have going on now. Talk a little bit about this new single. Let them know where they can cop that.
Yeah.
Find you.
Just released a single. Well, one of my I just took on a new artist as management. He released a single, and he's coming out with a project soon, and it's featuring me. It's called Caution. It's available everywhere, and I am working on a new project. It will be out in October. I'm gonna say October. Now that I said October, it forces me to go. So yeah, it's gonna be an EP. It's called Leader of the Pack. I think y'all will like it. It's dope. It's full of some bops up there. It's a 5-track EP. So be looking out for that, and check out Pink Gorilla Entertainment. We're always putting out dope content, dope artists. If you're in New York City and you're available on the 12th, me and my whole label will be performing live at Boy Package in New York Fashion Week show at the $3 bill.
Period. Love it.
Come on out, check us out, get some refreshments, some drinks, and chill.
Well, thank you so much, Buggz.
Thank you again.
Hopping through. So everybody, thank y'all so much for watching. Thank you so much for tuning in to this week's episode of Can We Talk, featuring Mr. Buggz Gutta. That was that conversation was really in depth. I'm gonna have to go back and watch that again myself. But make sure you all check out this conversation. For those of you all who are on my Patreon and will have exclusive access to this conversation, let me know how y'all, what y'all think about this. Let's have some conversation talking to Patreon about it. And until then, let me know what y'all think about this new setup. I know that I need to get my background together. Don't judge me, judge your mother. I got chords and everything, bitch. I'm playing producer and director and all of the other things. Okay, I'm gonna get it together. Okay, I'm gonna get my backdrop together. Okay, don't come from a neck. But outside of that, I am just really excited to get all of this stuff going, and can't wait to share some more stuff with y'all next week. So until then, peace, love, and hope. And I'll talk to you all later. Bye, guys.